All right, we're here with the homie, KireMobile. What's up,
Oh, what's
man?
good?
We
Doing
uh
well
we
and yourself?
I'm doing good, man. We were thinking we would just kind of get together and talk a little bit about what's going on in the game, what we got going on with our accounts, and then some of the news that's been announced lately. They've announced a few things in their Discord / on their Facebook page that are pretty interesting. So I don't know. What do you think? You want to start with the new champ?
Yeah, let's do that. I
I
think that's a
think
good
new
place to
champ's a
start.
good place to start. It's a new Vanguard. There's some interesting things about him that I feel like are worth us touching on. But his name's Leo. We've got his video down here of his intro we can check out real quick. It's kind of ridiculous.
It looks badass.
Yeah, he looks real cool.
I always think their intros are kind of hilarious in this
Yeah.
game. They
They're
got
super cinematic.
yeah, they're so over the top. It's like
Yeah.
the cool guy doesn't look at explosions. Yeah, and then I think by far the best / cringiest is the ninja. He puts on the sunglasses. It's like okay,
Oh,
get out of
dude,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's someone's cool uncle for sure. Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
all right, so we've got Leo. He's a new Vanguard. He's triple S, and I don't know. One of the things that stood out to me as we look at his kit is that even though he's a Vanguard, everything says attack damage, which I feel like is not correct. I'm wondering if that's a translation issue or if they're just using attack damage as damage output. But it has to be based on his defense because he's a Vanguard, right?
I feel like he's gonna be a little different just based on his kid because he's healing off of the attacks and stuff. Maybe they think he would be too strong if you could build him all defense and he gets the life steal off his ult like that potentially because he has on his he's immune to the first death. And then eventually, when you start to level him up, he gets health when you proc it for the first time, and then he also gets more damage on his ult, which also gives him more lifesteal. So it's like you could. I'm picturing him as kind of like a Tryndamere from League of Legends, for example, where it's like he takes damage, but he does more damage as he takes damage. He has built-in damage reduction, and so he's doing a lot of damage and he's surviving based on the damage he does. I don't know if that's going to translate to a good character in this game or how it's going to affect content because I feel like maybe in campaigners, I just don't know how effective he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be this crazy damage dealer um, in PVE content, but then I don't know if he's actually going to be able to help you out in campaign. I don't know how strong he's actually going to be in my opinion. I think he looks interesting.
Yeah, I think the lifesteal effect is going to be notable. He's got some decent damage output, and then with his exclusives, he does ramp up quite a bit. So I don't know. I guess for arena in the higher ends, it's going to be an issue of how well can he deal with a Bailey or Emma, who in my experience so far have been the two most problematic damage dealers I've come across. I almost won't attack Emma anymore in the arena because it's like if there's an Emma on the team, somehow it doesn't matter what else is going on, I'm dead.
Like it seems so strong with Emma's. She's one of the few people when she ults, it's like if she kills someone, she keeps going. So then you always get max value of the ult, and she just shreds.
Yeah.
So there's that. Whereas with this guy, I think it's gonna matter on how his ult actually works in game because he's dashing around, rushes causing X amount of damage to enemies along the way, a total of 3 times. So and then he's immune to CC during that time. So he
Yeah, that's pretty
could be
big.
really disruptive, and then he's immune to damage like that. Bear, like boar or whatever, is super annoying with his immune to damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see this being really frustrating. And then the lower he gets, the more attack he's actually gaining. So it's like, which means more lifesteal. So it's like he could be one of those people that gets to survive way longer than you would think because he's doing so much damage. I feel like characters like this, especially in arena, like the more the wailed out they are, it's like they're super oppressive. But potentially, if you're on equal footing, they might feel really lackluster. It just depends on how they balance them, like numbers wise.
Yeah, the defies death thing could actually be pretty good for. So one of the biggest problems I've encountered in the game to deal with in any content, PvE or PvP, is in the higher stages of Soul Mine when I run into a Rakana. It's very difficult to deal with him because he's gonna come over and kill the squishiest person on your team, and there's not much you can do about it unless you can guide it where you want it to go. So maybe one of the benefits to him not scaling on defense, if you focus his attack, is that he'll be squishy and he'll bait that Rakana, or he'll bait that
Hmm.
and he'll defy the death. He has 4 seconds to kill the Rakana or punish the Rakana, and his damage is
Uh-huh.
going to be higher because his HP is so low. And then with his talent, he's going to recover some HP after anyway, on top of having lifesteal. It's potentially a counter to stuff like that. I don't know, again, how well it translates to Arena when you've got a whole other comp to deal with that's thought out and welled out and all that stuff. But
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing
And
some uses here.
yeah, I'm thinking him, since he's Vanguard, he gets advantage of that divine prototype, like the Prism amulet. So it's like 80% of the damage. And then if he kills someone, then it resets the damage. So like someone
True.
that does crazy damage like that, like he could be super oppressive potentially.
Yeah,
I just
that'll
don't
be
know how the
interesting.
math works, you know, because like it's almost like you want him in that 30% HP range where he's not going to die. He doesn't proc the talent, but he's really maximizing that extra HP attack gain.
Hmm.
Um, so I do think he's potentially good. It's just in this game, like being on an older server is kind of nice because people could try him out, see if they like him, see if he's actually good, and then you can invest in him because it's such a big investment to make him relevant. Because it could be like, okay, I got him, but he's only like mid evolved
Hmm.
versus someone that's like not as good but fully evolved or like really close to being fully evolved. So there's always it's really hard to gauge it.
That's the thing I'm running into on my main account now. Is actually that can be a transition to that for a second. Is I'm not wailing out the same way I was in the first week and a half.
Uh-huh.
And now, so like for example, I've got an Emma down here that I don't do much with because she's not fully evolved, and then I just got Zeta, and I have Skewer and these champs that I want to do things with. But now it's a matter of, do I want to blue orb them? Like Masrani, I blue orbed
Uh-huh.
up to immortal, but I'm trying to save my blue orbs for Bailey because as it stands right now, Bailey's still, among the most broken champs, so it's going to be worth it. But I want to get some of these other champs rolling, and it's going to take a little bit longer since I'm not spending the money. I think it's going to be
Uh-huh.
doable because they do a pretty good job of giving us access to these champs, but it's going to be a longer term investment now, I think. So I guess it
Hmm.
depends on how much access we have to him when he drops. Will they do events like they did with Crete where you can get 2 or 3 more copies of him for free? Or is it going to be
Uh-huh.
like my current Zeta banner where, like, this is it? She hasn't popped up in another event for me yet, so I don't know if I'm going to get another Zeta or not.
Right.
We'll have to see how it
Like
goes.
yeah, I completely agree. Like, just based on how much we're gonna, because like that's what really nice about the Creed banner. Because I wonder if they do that, if they kind of have a vibe on how good the character is gonna be, and then do they put these kind of banners in time? Like, the character is not gonna be like ultra like plus S tier, but we'll put these kind of extra incentives to get you up there. Whereas if it's like they think this character is gonna be absolutely broken, okay, you're gonna have to get him like legitimately. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get any other events around it. um, which I think what makes the Creed banner so good because like I think Creed, from what I've been hearing, is just he's easily one of the best characters, and you get the double. What is it? The recruitment extra thing. You get
Yeah.
double there, so it's really good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of value.
It's the banner to save for sure. I've heard a little bit of chatter of maybe they're going to do a 2x or something over Christmas. So everybody's saying you
Ooh.
should really start saving your stuff. I don't know. There's no official leak or anything, but some of the
Uh-huh.
chatter has been that there's got to be something good coming for Christmas. So we're speculating maybe it's another 2x chip event. I don't know, but we'll see.
It'd be interesting to see what they consider as like the big deal event for this game, like how they do that. Maybe it's a 2x chip event because like in Raid we're used to it. Like, okay, this is great. It's like the 2x ancients or 2x voids. Like those are the big deal events. Whereas in this game, we don't really know what their plan is for the good ones.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what they do for Christmas because they've been incredibly generous just on a daily basis in this game so far.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with an excuse to give more stuff away, if they lean into that, or if they kind of like, we do enough. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
No,
I'm
it'd be definitely interesting to see.
yeah,
Some companies are like all in on these events, and some of them just do like a very tiny amount.
yeah.
So
Some of them put snow on the bastion and pictures of cake in the game.
oh, yeah, oh, is Yeah, that meme. I didn't really play too much Overwatch, but that's so funny. Yeah. Uh,
um, all right. So I guess the other thing we could talk about as far as what they've posted about is the Summit Arena. I misunderstood what this was seeing this post. I knew that it was cross region arena, but I didn't realize there was this kind of structure, which makes it very interesting.
uh-huh.
Makes it
Well, I
very
was worried there
interesting.
was gonna be like a big whale war, but then looking at it and how they broke down the different groups, I am a fan of it. I like how they really kept it tight on the servers. Like there's not these big wide amount of groups there. It's only three in between each one, and then it's this. I think it's kind of cool. I guess it really depends on how fun the actual. If it's just normal arena, but in a bracket format, I don't know if that's really something to be excited about. If
Yeah.
the rewards are sick, regardless of how you do, if you kind of place middle of the pack and you still get good rewards, I think that's exciting. But ideally, the merits of the game mode would be fun, and then the rewards are a bonus. Like nothing's worse than just like feeling like you have to do certain content because the rewards are good, but the gameplay is really boring.
Right. So far, they've done a decent job. I was expecting Twilight Lands just historically to kind of be the same old stuff, but it was
Uh-huh.
pretty different. And then the new Guild Hunt thing is they've done a pretty good job of making stuff feel pretty different. So I don't know. It'll be
Yeah, I
interesting.
think completely agree. Like I think those are. I'm excited to do the Guild Hunt. I'm excited to do. Like I haven't done Twilight Lands yet on my side. Um, but the Guild Hunt was really cool. And then I watched Dan's video on Twilight, and I think that's really like the concept of having your full roster there and you're able to
Hmm.
try different teams and stuff. I think this game does a fantastic job of allowing you to use your full roster, like in so many different ways. Like going wide in this game is really beneficial. Um, whereas most games, it's like you just have your S tier characters and then every other character's trash.
Yeah. Reading some of the info here. So it's a cross server event held once a month, which you can compete for rewards. There's three stages. It lasts for 2 weeks, made up of three stages: the qualifier, group stage, and summit round. This is talking about how the groups could get dwindled down. And then where was it? Yeah. The rankings in the qualifier and group stage will be determined by the total wins and total duration of battles.
Mm.
So having
Oh
teams
Lord.
that can get in and get wins quickly is going to be the name of the game
Uh-huh.
here. The more wins and the faster the wins are achieved, the higher the player is ranked. Interesting. Each round of qualifier. Yeah, that's interesting to see. And then this bracket here. So how did I guess so SEA only goes up to group 5. So what is it like group 1, group 1, group 1 that like they're all grouped together, you think?
I
That's
think
how
what
that
it is
reads?
it's well, it's I don't know if there's going to be a bracket, then we get further on to the groups. I thought it was like group one is going to be, well, these are the divisions. Um, wait, why is there so many? Like 1 through 10? Oh, okay. That was confusing me. I was looking at it. It was like groups 1 through 10. I thought they were just in groups of three, but on the EU ones, it goes groups 1 through 10 and 11 through 20. But then later on, it goes 70 to 72. Like they're way smaller down there.
Yeah.
Um, which was that because those were like pre-launch ones where there's the populations are smaller on those servers? I'm not sure because you look at the NA side and it's just all NA 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 10.
Yeah,
Um,
that's interesting.
so maybe they just did a like they just averaged it out based on population size, whereas on the NA side there's significantly more players. I'm not sure.
And then each season will have a new set of recommended heroes. Using these heroes in your lineup will grant stat bonuses during the summon arena. Players should choose their lineups carefully.
There's a good
Huh.
way to spice it up, and then also another way that they seem to have a theme of always encouraging a bigger roster. So they'll have that. That's kind of a way to do that because in arena, that's where it really, regardless of what game, it's always going to narrow down to like the top characters. So if you don't have something like that, then you're just going to see mirror matches all over the place. Um, did it say anywhere if this is going to be like the advanced arena where it's like there's three teams, or is it just one arena team?
As far as I can tell, it's one team. but I don't know. Also, I don't know. Does it just simulate the whole thing? I don't know. This is going to be. I know it's live on
I
other
have seen
servers,
that.
but
I have seen that where it's like the game will just take like I played Excess Heroes and then they would have like a bracket of the top whales and then it would just be auto battles. And then whoever won through the auto battles would win. So it's like
wow.
it's you don't even play it. It's when you bring that up, it's like, oh, maybe that's what this is. And it's like apparently that's the thing in gotchas. I don't know, but I always thought it was bizarre. And you could watch them, and then people would be able to bet on those, like who do you think's gonna win, and
Right.
then you would get
Yeah.
rewards based on betting them. Yeah,
Okay.
so
There was a
it's
game I was playing not long ago that was doing that. Maybe it was Exos Heroes. Feels
yeah.
too long ago. But yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess you can go back and watch them if you want to. Does
Mhm.
it say when it's going to open up? We started a new season. I don't guess we have dates.
Maybe it's variable. Well, huh? No, it can't be because they have all
It's
the
yeah,
servers listed.
it started on SEA and Asia servers first. So I guess it's already live over there. So I guess technically, if we really wanted to, we could jump over to one of those servers and see what's up. But
Yeah,
I
I
reckon
don't play
it'll.
that much.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll see when it gets here. It'll be here soon enough. Lineup combat power. Yeah, okay. So I hope they maintain. They've got a pretty good pace going right now. I would say overall, they're bringing new champs in pretty regularly. They're unlocking new content pretty regularly. I hope that they maintain this and continue to expand the game in a way that
Hmm.
keeps it interesting.
So, what is the thing you're most excited about right now in game? Like, what is the part of content you've been trying to figure out or work on? Because I'm assuming most people's first thing is usually like, okay, campaign and the mines, and then it's like, okay, now I need to get my gear up, so DISA. So it's like those are like the big three of progression there. Um, Me personally, I just hit DISA 14. I'm beating that now, and then
Nice.
pushing through campaign and the mines there. But I'm curious where you're at because
So
you're ahead.
yeah, my big focus right now. I just did a video today on my first Kinsaro team, my Kinsaro 15 team. And it's kind of an interesting one because I only have one damage dealer, and it's Ravenna. And then the whole rest of the team is built around protecting
Oh,
or
nice.
boosting her. So it's Mazrani, Rez, Artist Crete, and Ravenna. And she manages everything by herself with the help of the rest of the team.
So
And
do
they
you
did
have?
it.
Is it a full auto, or do you have to like
Yeah,
point
it's
her in
full
the right
auto.
direction? Full auto. Oh, okay, that's
I
awesome.
was I was worried I was gonna have to manual it, but so far they've done it every time on full auto. The best time there is 122, and I've run it a few times just to make sure that it's going to be consistent. And so far, it's consistent and kind of been getting faster. I think when I recorded the video, my best time was 130 something. So I've got that. Terra Dome 15 is such a step up. Like I'm sure you've noticed by now, the Terra
Uh-huh.
Dome is harder. It scales up.
Yeah, look at the power. The power. I was like, wait, why is the power so much harder at the same level in Terradome
Yeah,
versus? Yeah, Jesus Christ! It goes up even more. So it's so
yeah.
exponential.
It's versus Kinsaro 15, which is 1.7 million.
Yeah, and
It's
then
crazy.
Disa is like 1.9 on 15. Like, and I'm close to beating that.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough DPS at the moment. But I think with more levels, I'll be able to. I think I have the right comp for it, but I just don't have the levels yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1.9 seemed reasonable, but like the 4 point something for
It's
Terradome
such a
is
jump.
wild.
2.14 is 2.5, 15 is
Oh wow,
4.9 or
yeah, that's the biggest
4.6
jump in the
rather.
game for
Yeah.
me. That's insane.
And it's so noticeable because 14 I can jump in and I'm in no danger. It's slow, but I'm in no danger
Hmm.
of dying ever. And then 15 he kills my
Yeah,
creep in like 8 seconds. It's
that's wild.
so drastic. So that's
It's
something that I'm probably going to be focused on for a little bit is trying to get that sorted. I
uh-huh.
also need to get some other champs built because I'm tired of using Taylor. I don't want to use Taylor in here, but
It's annoying because
it is.
that's why I just do my three. I do it one time. I kind of do it on an easier one because I don't really want to worry about it failing because it's so manual intensive compared to literally all the other ones
Hmm.
that it's a bother. But at the same time, like I really like how they do the energy system in this game where you can do 10 of them. So if I have to manual it, it's really not the biggest deal.
Same. Yeah.
Um, and you just do it and you're good.
Yeah. I do want to get one of my like obviously if you go in here and you look at the teams too, it's like guess who is part of every
Oh
fucking
yeah.
team that does it.
Uh huh.
And I don't have him yet. Randall's pretty popular in here, but I have my Randall built differently. I have him built in defense stuff. So I don't really have
Oh,
any
okay.
good melee champs to take in there, so I have to do it with
Yeah.
Taylor, and I just don't want to. So I'm working on that. I'm working on progressing Soul Mine as I'm able to. But I guess my biggest focus right now is getting 15 sorted in all the dungeons, which now I'm just down to Terra, and then kind of sitting on Arena. I'm sort of halfway
Uh-huh.
trying to maintain a position in Arena, but I also understand that as I've stopped spending as much, I'm gonna dwindle
Yeah.
down, and there's just nothing I can do about that. Um,
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah, it's nice being on the new server and then like wailing out initially, so I can keep up for now. But like, there's one guy that on the glory achievements, it's his name on every single achievement.
yeah.
He's the only guy pushing it, and he just is just spinning like crazy. Um, but I really like the rewards structure and for what you get, like being able to get res from this. I
Hmm.
think I'm like 2 hours away from my first res copy, so I'm pretty excited about
Nice.
that.
He's insane. I mean, you saw mine, and I only recently
Mhm.
got another evolution in him. But even without it, even at purple with one
Uh-huh.
crystal, he's just bonkers because he doesn't need to be strong. Is if you can protect
Uh-huh.
him and keep him alive and let him do what he does, he's such a boost. Your clan boss damage is going to go up so much by putting
Yeah,
him
I'm
on the
excited to
team.
see it because I went all in on Emma. Emma's like my main triple S that I invested into. I don't have any other triple S's that are even close to that strong. It's pretty much her and Taylor are the only two that are like super strong in my account. And it's nice to see what you did with that other team for with Ravenna because that just means if I get my Luke up, then I can do something similar. But I bailed on Luke, went all in on Emma, and I don't regret it. But it's gonna be
Yeah,
cool to see Rev plus Emma and see if that's the difference that I need for like Disa or something like that.
that's funny, man. I haven't even thought about Luke. I feel like I haven't seen Luke in 2 weeks anywhere. That's so weird. I
There's
forgot Luke was a champ. To be honest, he was everywhere
uh-huh.
for a minute, and then now he's. I don't see him
Are you talking about like an arena and stuff like that,
anywhere.
or
Yeah, I don't hear him
uh-huh,
talked about as much, which is weird because he's a really good champ.
uh-huh.
To my understanding, I
Yeah,
don't have a lot
maybe it's
of
just been
personal
so
experience,
long in
but
the cycle.
yeah.
Like, so it's just because I know you have Ravenna, and it's one of those. It's like a different Pokemon. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
red version or blue version, and so uh, also it's like once you get one AoE damage dealer, it seems to be that's fine. Like there's not much content that really specializes in them. I like what they did within the guild boss thing, where the spider, where you have multiple spiders. So if you have AoE damage, your damage shoots up to the moon
Hmm.
for that. I think it's cool that they have
Yeah.
like specialties there, and I'm assuming the same thing's going to be for Twilight Lands. Like when I don't know how valuable AOE characters are going to be for that. I've never done it, but I do like that they have different teams where it's like, okay, if you have like multiple hunters in there, then you get a bonus. If you have
Right.
multiple tanks in there, you get a bonus.
Yeah.
So I
You're
wonder what
definitely going to do
the
well on AOE. There's another spider themed one, and you do really well with AOE in there. Twilight Lands is going to be fun for you. That's unlocking for you in a couple days, right? Like real soon.
um it's been saying coming soon, but since you guys have done it, I'm assuming I'm getting to that point.
Yeah, you should
Maybe in
be.
like a week or something.
Yeah, maybe when your creep banner's over.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, because
Okay.
my creep banner just started.
Okay, cool. So yeah, maybe after that week, or maybe during that week. I don't remember honestly, but it should be starting for you sometime
Okay.
soon. It's fun. The rewards are pretty dope. It's different, more different fun content. Um, yeah, I just hope they can keep this energy, making all the
Uh-huh.
content feel different enough, feel like its own thing. They've done such a good job of making every champ usable.
Yeah, completely agree with
They're
that.
they're killing it,
Like,
man.
so my big thing is I just want food. It's like there's so many characters I want to try, but
Hmm.
I'm sitting on multiple evolves, so like multiple copies of them, but I don't have the food for it. And
Yeah.
so I've been like, I'll go in there and spam the refresh in the shop and buy like the specific types um, for gyms.
Hmm.
Um, and so like just to like push them a little further. But because like I think that's the fun part. Like I think my favorite content right now is Ancient Altar.
Hmm.
Being able to do plus the rewards are absolutely insane. But even without
Yeah.
it, it's fun to try to figure it out.
Yeah. Alter's dope. How are you doing in there?
I just beat normal. So like so last week. I cleared normal. I didn't think I was gonna clear it because I remember when I first did it, like at the end of the previous week, I did like 3 million in normal, and then I bumped up the Emma, and then got her stronger, and then I completely get destroyed by the first two ones, and then put all my strong characters on the final boss, and then I was able to just do the 19 million,
Oh
and
wow.
then
Okay. Interesting.
yeah. So I was like, bet, I'll take that. I thought for sure I was gonna maybe two key it or something like
Yeah.
that. And then I ended up beating so then after that I used one attempt on easy and then poured all the rest of my attempts into hard. I don't know if that's smart. Maybe I should have just done because I thought I was not gonna get a reward for just attempting it in hard. So maybe I should have put all four of them into hard and then still cleared normal. But I'm not sure what was the smart play to use my keys.
Yeah. I what I'm doing now because is putting my one in normal and dropping it, and then putting the rest of what I have in hard. Because there's these like layers of rewards, right, for the
Yeah.
damage you do. Hard is such a step up from normal.
It's crazy. Yeah, it goes from beating that to really struggling. I'm like happy to do 3 million, happy to do
Yeah.
2.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a step up. So it'll be interesting to see how I do this week. Because last week,
I'm curious what you think about this. I think obviously you want to have your best team doing the damage on the boss, but I feel like the second priority should be the summoner one because the summoner one feels way easier than the AoE one, in my opinion. Maybe if had a really invested in Luke, I can throw that in on that first boss. But you have Ravenna that's really strong. I don't know if you're using Ravenna to kill the final
yeah.
boss, but like
So I'll show
you need to
you.
have like super good characters for this because I think this guy is harder to beat than the middle guy. Just because looking at it, I have poorly invested in characters for this team and poorly invested in characters for the other. But I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere versus the middle dude than I am this guy.
Yeah, he feels like his damage output is a lot higher. So he'll like melt your team
Uh huh.
quicker. They don't have as much time to get
Yeah.
rolling. What I did
Uh huh.
here is I kind of spread my strong champs around. I was doing the only take my strong team into team three for a while. And then I decided I would experiment with actually spreading my units around a little bit. So like Ravenna's in my
Uh huh.
team one, for example,
Oh, that's
and she's my strongest
that's good.
champ.
Uh huh.
And it seems to work out for me. I think I still have some testing and some tweaking to do, but so far, like this setup drops normal for me pretty easily. We usually take both skills away. We usually drop all three bosses all the way through.
Oh,
So
okay.
the third the boss fight on normal is pretty easy for this team, especially because we took away two of his skills by killing the other two. So I'm trying
Uh
to
huh.
take that into hard, but the problem is in hard, he just, especially the
It's
first
just
boss,
not
he
gonna
just
happen.
melts us so fast.
Yeah.
So we'll see
Yeah.
how this
Like
week goes.
my thing is I have to deal with both, like the full shield and then the 500%. Don't take any of them down. I think maybe I get one bar down, and then I think it just happens to work that way because my strongest heroes are also like hunter single target damage dealers. So I'm just like super over geared on those characters. So it happens to work out for this content in particular. But long term, I'm gonna need to like really spread it out. I think it's
Yeah.
just to beat hell, you need to have like multiple strong teams. I think.
Yeah, it's I can't even imagine what it's like up here.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
I forget. Yeah, we're on hard, not hell.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
even for hard that applies. Yeah.
yeah. I do wish it would show you teams the way that it does in the other dungeons. Wish you could see what teams people are using.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Uh
interesting to be able to see.
huh. It would help out a ton.
Yeah.
I'm assuming people, like it's just like all the typical whale characters. I'm assuming the what's the skewer? I bet
Yeah.
skewer's really big for that middle one. Um, maybe a combination of Luke and Ravenna for the first one, but I don't know how people survive through it.
Right.
There's so much damage. You would need your best healer for that, and then
Yeah.
because like I feel like you're eventually going to run out of healers. Like you only have, well, I guess you have three if you're on the Maserati one.
Yeah. I
I
might
would
move
run out of healers.
Maserati to my team one for the next time I try it
Uh huh.
and see if I mean, it almost might be worth trying double healer on that first one, and then because I've gotten away with no healer here before. Maybe not
Oh,
on
okay.
hard, but in normal, I
Uh
think I
huh.
did it without a healer. I don't know. Maybe we try double
So
healer on the first one, and I don't know. We'll have to test it.
yeah,
A lot of testing to do
yeah.
there.
And then I do want to highlight one thing I absolutely love about this game is you don't have to worry about your attempts. You can just go in and do it, and then because it's fun content to be able to try it out, and you're not so worried that you're gonna like waste a key or whatever. Like that. That's what I hated about Clan Boss
Yeah.
and Raid, where it's like, okay, I want to try this thing, but then I'm sitting here like overthinking it because, but I just want to try it. I just want to let me play your game. Whereas
Right.
here, I get to actually play the game and enjoy it, and then like, oh, okay, never mind, this wasn't good enough. Back out. Let me try again. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it's such a tone shift from like I was talking about this in a video not long ago. It's Raid is so eager to punish its players constantly for everything they do, it feels
Uh-huh.
like sometimes. And it's weird to play a game that has the exact opposite approach. It's like, build this champ. You don't like it? Reset him. It doesn't even cost you diamonds. You want to test this dungeon? Fine. We don't take the currency. We don't take your stamina until you win. Like,
Which is
or
great.
if you progress, like if I beat a new dungeon for the first time, it doesn't charge me stamina.
Mhm.
Like, that's
Which
wild.
I think is really cool. I
Yeah.
like that a ton. Um,
There's very little big mistakes you can make in this game because they've set it up in a way to not be a punishment to play it,
uh-huh.
which is really nice.
Except, logging in with your Facebook account on iPhone. That's the biggest mistake you could possibly
Yeah.
make.
Yeah. Other than
Uh-huh.
they've got a real thing
Yeah,
about that
real
one, but
yeah. Yeah.
otherwise they're pretty squared
Uh-huh.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that could be videos, like, "Don't make this mistake," massive, account ruining mistake,
Yeah, life
totally make
ruining
this
mistake.
Uh-huh. Legitimately, my neck hurts now, because I'm like always like looking down at my phone, when I'm at my computer desk because of this mistake. So it's legitimately a problem. So,
It is so
but
weird too.
uh-huh.
It's a Facebook
So
account. Load it.
to fill people, it's just a login issue where the game thinks if you log in with your Facebook account when you make your first account um on iPhone, it like you try to log into BlueStacks, it thinks it's a new game. So if you go to your Facebook, you'll see Eternal Evolution US and Eternal Evolution. So you have two accounts now associated with the same Facebook. So it's a problem, and apparently it's not fixed yet. So hopefully they fix it soon.
Yeah, hopefully they'll fix the thing.
Hmm. So
In the meantime, you're going to be pointing your camera down at your phone to make videos, right?
yes, yeah, I'm gonna be like this. It's gonna be, and then hopefully,
You
I'll
just
just
talk
make
to the
it really
camera and you
small
just
in the
flip your
corner.
phone around and show the phone to the camera when you need to show
Yeah,
it's
you see this
gone.
shit? Yeah, here it is. Here you go. Do this. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, well, I reckon we've gone on long enough. Do you
I think this is good. I think this is a
yeah,
good place to call it.
yeah, good chat.
Um,
I'm excited about the game. I'm still excited
uh-huh,
about a game. Usually I get excited about a game for the first few days and then I start seeing stuff and a month in I'm like, all right, here we go.
uh-huh.
But this one I'm still just as stoked about as the day I started playing it, which is
That
nice.
usually I'll be like stoked about a game, but it's the only game I want to play. So it's kind of nice that there's a lot of games going on now that are dope. Like I like this game. I like Eternal Magic Raid. Both of them uh are good. So it's like having a nice change of pace where it's like this game you can pop in, really fun. Just another one to add to the
Yeah.
list here, which I think is badass.
Yeah, they only keep getting better. So
Mhm.
that's good. If this isn't the one's coming, I reckon. So we'll get out of here. Do you want to plug anything?
Just
Starting
if
that
anybody's new,
OnlyFans?
I couldn't imagine someone that hasn't downloaded this game make it to this far in the video. But be sure to hit the link down if you guys want to try this game out. Jagex has it down there for you to try, and that's pretty much
I will
it.
benefit in no way from that link. It's just Eternal Evolutions.
Yeah, it's just a down. Yeah, that's all it
I guess I should
is.
say that's a joke, but
Uh-huh.
it's not a joke. All right,
Well, yeah, thanks
I'm
for
gonna put
having me on.
Kyre's
This was
link
fun to talk about it.
for sure, man. I'm gonna put your
Yeah.
link down below. Everybody go over there and check out Kyre. And do you have plans to make Eternal Evolution content?
I do. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it realistically because of that Facebook issue with my
Yeah.
account. I'm way too pot committed to ever want to just change and make it like a free to play or something like that. So hopefully soon. Hopefully I'll have some content
Okay.
coming
Yeah,
soon.
keep an eye out for that. If not, in the meantime, I'm sure a lot of you also play Infinite Magic Raid, and he's making some killer content for Infinite Magic Raid. So I'm gonna link it below. Go show him some love. Appreciate you being on, dude.
Mm, thanks for having me.
Later, guys.
Uh, just